Strawberry season is upon us. How about some delicious strawberries with whipped cream? I'll show you how to make it. So strawberries are one of my favorite fruits. And I wanted to show you how I recommend washing them and other fruits like grapes, for example, that can get a lot of like icky stuff in its crevices, right? And I found that this method actually keeps fruit fresher longer in the refrigerator. So all you would do is get the strawberries you want to eat and put them in a bowl. And put about a couple tablespoons of vinegar on top of them. And then fill the bowl with hot water. And let them sit in the hot water for a couple minutes. The hot vinegar water. It's a really safe way to clean your produce. All right, so I want to show you how much dirt came out of these. So I like to put the strawberries, lift them out of the water and put them in a strainer. Because if you just dump this in, you're basically putting the dirt right back. So scoop the strawberries out, or any produce really. This is really great for lettuce, broccoli, oh my God, anything that you could, want to wash off a lot of the grime, right? And I want to show you how much stuff came out. So a lot of these are the little seeds, but you can see the water is not clear anymore, right? There is definitely some dirt. You're washing off the pesticides. So this is a great way to wash strawberries. Now, the next step is to dump your vinegar dirt bowl, rinse it, and then I put the strawberries back and I rinse off the vinegar because I'm going to eat these now, and I don't want them to taste like vinegar. I want them to taste like strawberries. So you can rinse off the vinegar mixture. If you want to store the strawberries, I would recommend actually keeping them in, not rinsing them the second time, because that way, actually, I think it keeps the strawberries fresher if they have a little bit of that acid on them. So now again, I'm going to strain my strawberries, and now they're beautiful and clean. So we can cut them up, or I'm gonna actually leave them whole because then they'd be wonderful to scoop the whipped cream in. So now we'll make the whipped cream. All right, whipped cream 101. Start with heavy whipping cream. I just have a bowl here. Pour your whipping cream into your bowl. Now, I'm gonna use a hand mixer. You could use a stand mixer, like a KitchenAid stand mixer, that kind of thing, or a cheaper one. Or you can do this by hand. And if you want to work off the calories that you're gonna get eating this, it's a great way to do it. I mean, it really is about taking away and whipping it. It takes a good, I'd say 5 minutes to do it by hand. Or you could use modern technology and do it in like not even one. All right, here we go. All right, we got ourselves some whipped cream. All right, so once it gets thick like this, I like to kind of stop. It took a couple of minutes, I would say, actually, even with the hand mixer. So with your hand, it might take like 10, your own hand without the machine. But if you kept whipping it, it would just keep getting thicker, and then you have to be careful not to cross the point where it basically will separate into the butter and the buttermilk. Actually, a really easy way to make homemade butter at home is to put heavy whipping cream into a stand mixer and let it keep going. It'll like reach the stage, and then it'll keep getting thicker, and then all of a sudden, water will start coming out of this dark yellow, beautiful mass. Well, the dark yellow stuff is the butter, and the white milky stuff is the buttermilk. And you could season it with salt, and you can have fresh butter. But anyway, so this is whipped cream. Now, it's just cream at this point. So you can flavor this in thousands of different ways. You can be creative. Cream is obviously very high in butterfat. Butterfat is an amazing way to basically put flavor and have it kind of melt in your mouth, and it will perfume your palate. So you could put just regular granulated sugar. You can put confectioner sugar. That tends to dissolve a little bit more easier. My favorite simple flavoring for whipped cream is honey. I find honey and cream a heavenly combination. Another thing you could do is put things like maple syrup. I'm not talking about the Aunt Jemima stuff. I'm talking about the real maple syrup that comes from trees. This is a beautiful flavoring. And then, of course, you could flavor it with things like vanilla. I'm going to show you, so basically I have a couple girlfriends coming over, and I thought strawberries and whipped cream would be a lovely little snack for us with tea. So I'm going to flavor this a little bit more fancy with a real vanilla bean and also a little bit of lavender and the honey. You could even buy these food safe flavors like coconut and almond and flavor your whipped cream like that. Now be careful, these are potent. One drop goes a very, very long way. If you overdo it, it becomes bitter and disgusting. But I thought this is an interesting and cool way to also make very neat flavored whipped creams. I wanted to show you this really cool thing I purchased from Amazon for a pretty good price. It's basically dried flowers that are edible. So these are rosebuds, this is marigold, this all came in one kit. This is the lavender that I'm going to use on this whipped cream, and it also came with rose petals. So we might decorate the whipped cream at the end with just like a rosebud. But just like the flavorings I just showed you, like coconut and almond, lavender is a very, very, very strong flavoring. So I don't want to overdo it. I would say that's probably enough just for the hint of lavender. And then in terms of honey, I would say probably a teaspoon is enough for this amount. So you could whip this by hand, or we'll put the stand mixer back. And the last thing I want to flavor this with is fresh vanilla bean. You can also use vanilla bean extract, things like that. Okay, so here's such a beautiful culinary ingredient, a vanilla bean. This is actually, it comes from an orchid, a vanilla orchid. And so it's a really neat flavoring. So the way I like to extract those little dark dots that you would see if you bought vanilla bean ice cream is by taking a knife, I would say a paring knife, a small paring knife, and I cut both ends and kind of, this is nice and soft. Sometimes the vanilla bean's like kind of hard and it's kind of hard to get to, but if you get a nice fresh one, I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit out and so you could see what's in there. So these are those little cute vanilla beans that will make your ice cream have little dots. But be forewarned, just because your ice cream has these little dots, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has basically natural vanilla flavor, because sometimes they will extract the vanilla flavor from these and then just put these black dots for a show, which I think is kind of shady. But anyway, so here we go. We're gonna kind of flatten it out, and we're gonna carefully cut down the middle to cut down the top, but don't cut through it, okay? Just the top. Make sure you have a nice cut. So here you go, I kind of cut it. And look, watch when you open this. This is where the gold is, right? You can see it. All right, so how do you get it out? So you put it back flat, use the dull side of your paring knife, hold the bean on one side, and scrape up the goodness. Oh man, this always makes me so happy. So all that is the good stuff. I'm gonna put that right in my cream. Quite a bit actually. And guess what? Don't throw this away. This is also gold. This is what I do. I take my jar of sugar. Here, don't waste this stuff. This is the good stuff. Take my jar of sugar, put this right in here. You're gonna get the most beautiful vanilla bean sugar with that, the leftover. It's quite lovely, okay? You can see my vanilla bean sugar. You can kind of sort of see there's little black dots. Those are the vanilla bean pods that I were basically left on something I would have thrown away. And then I'm gonna scrape up all these little bits. I don't want to waste this. Vanilla beans tend to be expensive for sure, but they're worth it. Okay, so watch this. You see how you can get little black specks? So I'm just gonna fold in. So you want to fold. If you go like this and just mix it, it's just gonna remove all the air. I'm just gonna fold it in to show you how pretty this whipped cream will be. I feel like it's kind of loosening a little bit. I'm gonna actually whip it a little bit longer. Okay, so now we're back to our nice thickness, and oh boy, I get to taste it. Holy God, that's good. I can taste, obviously, the gorgeous cream, and I can taste the lovely honey, the lovely vanilla, and just a hint of lavender at the very end. All right, so now we're gonna plate it up. Let's plate this dish. So I'm gonna scoop up our wonderful cream into this really pretty bowl. I feel like my friends are gonna like me more now because I'm serving them this. All right, whipped cream. Whipped cream makes me happy. Makes me very, very happy. And this topping could be for really so many things. I mean, you obviously can dip strawberries in it, raspberries in it. Heck, you could dip chocolate covered strawberries in it. You really want to feel indulgent, maybe for something like Valentine's Day. Oh no, I'm gonna have to eat this. Oh my God. I'll tell you, the thing that shines through the most is that honey. Beautiful honey. It just works with the cream so beautifully. The land of cream and honey. Just to make it pretty, I'm just gonna spread it. Okay, oh no, I gotta lick the spoon too. Oh man, it's been a rough day. And then our beautiful, clean strawberries. Gonna arrange them around. I wanted to show you a fun way you can cut a strawberry. So you take that paring knife again, and you cut down like this. And then you just spread it. And you've got something so lovely, just gently. I think I might put that on top. And to super gild the lily, I'm going to put some beautiful rose petals around it. Now I'm really getting fancy, huh? Fancy, fancy. And to kind of tell people what's in the cream, I'm going to put the smallest amount of lavender flower right around the cream. And I'm going to finish it with some honey. Honey, honey. Let's do a fancy crosshatch here. All right. So if your friends don't enjoy this, then you need to get new friends. Hope you enjoy it. Take care. To your health.